There are 11 different heroes to choose from in Clash Mini, and here is the best deck for each of them. Starting off with the Archer Queen deck, we have the Archer Queen, Magic Archer, Healing Ranger, Ice Wizard, Giant Skeleton and the Prince. Archer Queen is a great hero with all the damage she can dish out and also having the ability to turn herself and her allies invisible, providing some insane value. Next up is the Magic Archer, who pairs up really well with the Archer Queen because he can go invisible, and that damage boost from the Archer Queen makes his damage go to a whole another level. Next up, we have the Healing Ranger. She is beautiful, especially with that Actolite skin, and she is really strong with the Unstoppable to counter things like the Electro Wizard, and her healing keeps your allies stay on the board for way longer and also provides a lot of support and coverage to your allies. Then we have the Ice Wizard. First, he is cheap, and second, his third ability can be used to provide your Archer Queen shield, which is just awesome, and that slow works really well with the Magic Archer and the Archer Queen. Next up is the Giant Skeleton. He is your main tank, and with all the stuns and the damage that he can dish out, he is just a great pick for the Archer Queen. Finally, we have the Prince, who simply provides a lot of value with the Clash ability, cancelling things like the Fisherman and every other annoying Clash ability. Next up, for the Barbarian King deck, we have the Barbarian King, Dagger Goblin, Archer, Prince, P.E.K.K.A. and the Healing Ranger. You have the Barbarian King, who is the best hero in Clash Mini right now. He is a great tank, he deals a lot of damage, he supports his allies by doubling their DPS, and his invincibility is completely broken. Next up is the Dagger Goblin, who pairs up really well with the Barbarian King. He has the anti-heal to counter all the healing abilities, the Boast ability allows him to deal a lot of damage, and the invisibility allows him to survive for way longer. The Archer is another great pick because she pairs up really well with the Barbarian King with the double shot and the Boast ability, and her third ability is awesome with the Barbarian King. Then you have the Healing Ranger, who is gonna keep your entire board alive because she heals a lot of HP, and she also has the Unstoppable, which is gonna counter any kind of stuns or slows. Next up is the P.E.K.K.A, who deals a lot of damage, especially when paired up with the Barbarian King. And finally, we have the Prince, who has a great Clash ability. For the Countess deck, we have the Countess, Electro Wizard, Mega Knight, Miner, Ice Wizard and the Prince. Electro Wizard and the Mega Knight makes you gain control over the entire board. The Miner can just eat through the enemy backline. The Ice Wizard slows are pretty helpful for the Countess to escape from tricky situations, but the real value comes from the shield it gives from the third ability to the Countess and the Miner. This just allows them to stay alive for way longer. For the Grand Warden deck, we have the Dagger Goblin, Royal Ghost, Valkyrie, making a trifecta. Then you have the Giant Skeleton and the Archer. The main goal is to make your Valkyrie and the Dagger Goblin invisible with the Royal Ghost and upgrade the Valkyrie and the Dagger Goblin. And then go for the Giant Skeleton to lower enemy units. And finally, you have the Archer to take care of the backline. Firstly, the Monk provides you easy win in the early rounds thanks to his stupidly high damage. Then you have the Battle Leader and the Healing Ranger, who is gonna keep your Monk alive. Next up, we have the three Clash abilities, Bowler, Prince and the Spear Goblin. The goal here is to throw the early rounds and gain as much information as you can with the Monk. You can even go to round number 4 by throwing. Then with all the information you have received, carefully place the Clash abilities and you will see yourself winning in the final round. For the Pink Fury deck, we have the Pink Fury, Mega Knight, Electro Wizard, Dagger Goblin, Archer and the Healing Ranger. Again, you should throw the early rounds and get as much elixir you can with the Pink Fury. And then strike back with your win conditions like the Archer and the Dagger Goblin. And if you want your Pink Fury to carry you, then go for the stun from the Mega Knight and the Electro Wizard. And finally, we have the Healing Ranger, who is just gonna keep everything alive. For the Nature Bond deck, you need to totally rely on the Deer form. You have the Nature Bond, Archer, Dagger Goblin, P.E.K.K.A, Prince and the Fisherman. The Archer and the Dagger Goblin once again are great minis. Then the P.E.K.K.A deals a lot of damage when paired up with the Nature Bond. And the Fisherman allows you to cancel some Clash abilities and can sometimes be used to bring enemy units closer to your Dagger Goblin. For the Royal Champion deck, we have the Royal Champion, Electro Wizard, Musketeer, Golden Giant, Miner and the Prince. The Electro Wizard and Musketeer allows you to protect the Royal Champion because boy oh boy, she needs some real protection. Then we have the Golden Giant, who is a great tank for the Royal Champion, countering all the stun abilities. Then you have the Miner, who is really good against enemy backlines. For the Shield Maiden deck, we have the Shield Maiden, Battle Healer, Healing Ranger, Dagger Goblin, P.E.K.K.A and the Dart Goblin. The two healers are just good with the Shield Maiden because she needs them. Then the Dagger Goblin is crazy strong, P.E.K.K.A is a great damage dealer, And finally, the Dart Goblin, who is another great win condition. For the Skeleton King deck, we have the Valkyrie, Royal Ghost, Dagger Goblin, Fisherman, and the Prince. The Royal Ghost will be able to make 2 of your minis invisible. The Valkyrie has anti-heal, splash damage, and the Breaker ability, which is gonna be really good. On the other hand, we have the Dagger Goblin, which is just good. The Skeleton King is also another great damage dealer. And then the Prince and the Fisherman are just good clash abilities to have. For the Wave Master deck, we have the Bandit, Knight, Dart Goblin, Swordsman, and the Prince. The Wave Master just pairs up really well with the Bandit. Then we have the Dart Goblin, who is another solid win condition. Same goes for the Swordsman, he is just good at his work. And then we have the Knight, who is gonna help you taunt enemy units.